Well, welcome, everyone. So great to see you all tonight. Thank you for taking an hour out of your evening to spend with the Zones 33-34 Public Image team in our Storytelling Meets Tech virtual event. We're really excited for tonight's program. I do want to introduce our amazing team that helps do all the work behind the scenes. My name's Susan Corder. I'm your Rotary Zone 34 Public Image Coordinator, and we also have our incoming Zone 34 Rotary Public Image Coordinator, Kelsey, on the call tonight. And the rest of our team from Zone 34, Joanne, Chad, Amanda, Caroline, and I think Joyce is even here too. And Joyce Gunter just got approved by RI to join the team officially starting July 1st. So we're super excited to have her on board, as well as Maria coming in on July 1st as well. So from 33, we have Hamilton and Lisa I see on the call. And unfortunately, Ashley wasn't able to make it tonight, but we got a really great team. It's a small group, but we are mighty, and we're here to assist you guys in whatever you need. So thank you again for being here this evening. Just a few housekeeping items. We are running this in a Zoom meeting, but we do ask you to stay on mute until we open up the Q&A session at the end. If you have questions throughout the program, feel free to drop them in the chat, and if it's something our team can respond to in the interim, we will. Otherwise, we'll make sure to get to those during the Q&A block at the end of the session. We are recording the event tonight. Link to the recording will be distributed later this week, so you can view that just for reference, or share it with members of your club or others who might find the content beneficial. And we do have a nice surprise that we're going to email out along with that at the end of the week as too, that I'll announce at the end of the meeting. So without further ado, I would like to get started with the program. As you might have seen in the email, Rotary International Director-elect Marshall Butler was going to join tonight, but he had another commitment come up, so he has pre-recorded a session. He let me interview him with a few questions about the Rotary Rap video. So I'm going to cue that video to play now, and then we'll come back and kind of give you a little bit more of a behind-the-scenes tour.
Hey, Marshall, welcome, and thanks for hopping on our session to talk about the exciting Rotary Rap video. Before we get into the video, let's talk about storytelling for a little bit. We talk a lot about the storytelling initiatives that we have in Rotary and why it's so important. Give us your take on why storytelling is so important in Rotary today.
I mean, storytelling is crucial, but it's even more important now today in a digital age. You know, people join Rotary for a lot of different reasons. There are so many different reasons why people come to find our organization and want to be a part of it. It's so important that we know many reasons why people want to join and have stories that support all those different reasons. So whether it's they're interested in leaving a legacy, interested in international service, interested in leadership development, professional development, stuff like that. So those are all the different reasons why people want to be a part of Rotary, why they would want to join Rotary. But when you think about the tools and the technology that we have in place today, we've got incredible tools, artificial intelligence, tools like Canva that make it easy to edit video and to create graphics and stuff like that. But these tools, they don't replace storytelling. What they do is they eliminate the friction. They make it easier for us to distribute these stories, because we know there's just so many different ways that we can communicate and connect with people around the world now. But it still comes down to storytelling, because, you know, I think for a long time, we've been telling the same story to the same people using the same channels constantly. And it's important that we now find these tools and these new ways to communicate and these new ways to share the Rotary story, innovative ways that are different than have ever been seen before, so that we can reach people that may have never heard the Rotary story, may have never considered joining Rotary, but because we tell the story in a slightly different way, that they now realize, hey, maybe this is the organization for me. So storytelling is still, it's so important, and it's even amplified now that we have great technology and communication channels to really spread the story around the world.
And we are definitely going to get into some of that great technology, but before we do that, let's talk about the Rotary Rap and how this idea with Sparks. Can you tell us a little bit about how it got started?
Yeah, sure. So it goes back to storytelling. In 2015, the Broadway show Hamilton debuted, And it told a story, a part of American history that had never been really shared broadly. It told it in a very different way. And people that had never really cared or wanted to know anything about that story, suddenly they were very interested. They leaned in. They wanted to know more about this part of American history. And so all of a sudden, people really are interested in Hamilton. And, you know, I would listen to the Hamilton soundtrack every single day as I would drive my daughters to middle school, to the, you know, the carpool line. We would listen to the songs and memorize the songs. And it was just amazing to watch my daughters really lean in and understand and want to know more about the Hamilton story. And I realized, you know, Rotary, we have an incredible history. We have an incredible story of doing good in the world, of doing great things like eradicating a disease. Why couldn't we do something like tell the Rotary story in the form of a rap, telling this legacy of doing good in a way that had never been told before? And so, you know, I have zero musical talent. I can't sing, I can't play an instrument, but that was 2015-16. In the last couple of years, we've had tools like ChatGPT and Suno, and all these great tools have come on the scene that allowed me to finally bring that vision, that idea to fruition. And so, you know, we loaded in a prompt into ChatGPT and came up with these great lyrics, and the Rotary Rap became a reality because of technology. It gave us a way to tell this story.
So for those on the call tonight who don't know what Suno is, can you maybe provide a little bit of background on what that app is?
Yeah, so Suno is really incredible. It essentially creates music based, you load in lyrics, you load in a style, and it will generate a complete song. So it was, you know, we loaded the prompt into ChatGPT, created the lyrics in ChatGPT, and then this is very important, always trust but verify. So the lyrics that we got out of ChatGPT for the Rotary Rap were not entirely accurate. There were some historical inaccuracies. Apparently Rotary was founded in 1911, not 1905. So we had to go back and make some of these changes, make sure everything was historically correct. So that took a couple of iterations with ChatGPT and editing, and we had to, some of the couplets we didn't really like, and so we made some modifications to tighten up some of the rhymes. But then loading it into Suno, in Suno, again, you load the lyrics in and you create a prompt. So the prompt was create a hip hop Broadway musical song. And then we had to iterate on that a couple of times in terms of having multiple voices, having your primary person, your Hamilton character, which was, we called him Rotary, and then having supporting voices throughout the song. It took maybe 30, 40, 50 iterations to finally get the song that we have today, just because we were slowly, you know, pulling some switches and modifying some levers to make it sound just like it sounds today. So Suno was a really incredible tool. Again, none of this would have been possible 10 years ago, but with the advent of AI and Suno and stuff like that, the Rotary Revolution Rap came to fruition.
I think a lot of people right now are probably Googling Suno, looking up how to download that app on their phones, which is really cool. And we talk about AI a lot and just say, give it a shot, just try it, you can't break it. And that's really what we strongly encourage everybody that's listening to this call to try to do. Just try it out, have fun with it, modify it, always fact check and see what you come up with, because it's so much fun.
It's a lot of fun to create music in Suno.
Marshall, thank you so much for sharing all of that. We are going to roll the Rotary Revolution video.
Absolutely. Let's play it.
How does a lawyer, shy guy in Chi-Town, no high clout, start a club with 4 guys, no cash, just hide out? By trust and friendship, fellowship and truth, turn a local lunch into a force for the good. The name's Rotary, just a seed with a mission. 1905, growing faster than tradition. 4-way test, yeah, we aim with precision. From room 711 to a world-changing vision. Without a script, without a plan, they met and shook each other's hands. Let's serve above ourselves, they said, now see the banner that they spread.
There's a million strong who heed the call, fighting polio.
We stand tall from Wells and Ghana to Greece and Nepal. Rotary's revolution has touched us all. Change makers, peacemakers, globetrotters, clean water bringers, child health supporters. We mentor the youth, build bridges, not borders, scholarship givers and frontline reporters. Eradicating polio, we take the shot. Partner with Gates, yeah, we give it all we got. In war zones, flood zones, drought and despair, Rotarians show up because we care.
We lift up girls, bring literacy to the streets, empower every voice where oppression repeats. Diversity, equity, inclusion, we own it. We're changing the world, don't need to postpone it. From Rotary Youth Exchange to the Peace Fellows, our vision rings out like a string of bold tellos. Not just meetings and meals, we bring solutions. This isn't a club, it's a quiet revolution.
Yo, we built it from local to global scale with a wheel that turns and never fails. Districts rise, zones unite, we shine the light in darkest night. Service projects, grants and rise, changing lives before your eyes. And when the storm of need begins, you'll find repairing rolling in. You'll know the name, Rotary. They'll feel the flame, Rotary. We fight disease, Rotary. We plant the seeds, Rotary. We are the ones who won't just wait for fate. We rise with hope, we educate, we don't throw away our shot to lead. We serve, we give, we plant the seed.
Just you wait, we elevate. Changing lives in every land. Revolution led by serving
All right. What do you think about that? Pretty cool, huh? I mean, the response that we got from that song was just so incredible. People around the world saying, finally, my kid understands what Rotary is all about. People sharing it, interactors and early actors and Rotary actors saying, I feel like Rotary now hears me. They see me. They're speaking my language. Just the response was incredible. It took off on Facebook, thousands of shares, hundreds of thousands of views. But this would not have been possible if, Susan, you didn't bring someone to the team that you thought was going to be crucial to making this come together. So it was a connection that you made that helped us out with this.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much talent in Rotary. We just have to dig deep and really find it. And our district public image chair from Rotary District 6900, Nick Ramey, is going to join us tonight and talk about the technology that he used, AI components involved as well, to put the life behind the Rotary rap video. All those visuals that you saw, absolutely amazing, wonderful talent. So we're really excited to have Nick on the team. And early on, we got him together on a call with the three of us and said, how can we make this happen? Right? It's just a great.
I'll never forget that
talent.
Yeah, I remember we had the song, we had it pretty much polished the way we wanted it, and Nick was on the call and played the song for Nick, and we're all on camera. And I said, "Hey Nick, can you do anything with this? What do you think? Is this something you can work with?" And his eyes got really big, and Nick said, "Oh yeah, we can do something with this."
And he sure did.
The video you just saw is what Nick Ramey, his vision when he heard the music. That's what he saw as a talented video editor. So at this point, let's hand it off to Nick and let Nick talk about some of the nuts and bolts behind the scenes and how he brought that music and that song to life with those visuals. So Nick, take it away.
Well, thank you, Marshall and Susan, for that. That song still, I've listened to it probably 1,000 times now, and it still gets in my head. So it's very catchy and fun. When he played it for me the first time, I immediately just started trying to think visually, how could we enhance that song with images to help tell that story. I started cutting it in my head, and how do we flow with the music, and what is the pacing, and that's just kind of how my brain works after doing video production for most of my life. But before we dive in, let me give you a little bit of my background. For those that don't know me, I am Nick Ramey. I am the DPIC here at 6900 in Georgia. I own a video production company called Gig Bag Media. And as Susan and Marshall both mentioned, AI has really fundamentally changed the way we operate today. Things that used to require a visual effects team and lots of hours of work can now be done in minutes. so we're able to do a lot more storytelling than we used to before. And Marshall said it perfectly. The tools don't replace the storytelling. They just sort of allow you to tell the story in ways that we couldn't before. And I want to be clear about something. Even though I do this for a living, this project could be done by anybody that had a lot of free time and a lot of free time and a vision. So let me sort of walk you through the process of how we did this video. So let me share my screen. All right. So first thing I did, as everyone should do, is go to the Rotary Brand Center right here. They have everything that you could possibly need. So we went here and we went to this download section and we wanted to view everything. So we viewed everything. So we went through and I probably spent a few hours just going through all the pictures that we had and picking out the ones that I thought would sort of match the lyrics of the song that Marshall sent me. During this process, we ran across, let's see, Paul Harris. And here you go. So you probably saw these 3 pictures here in that video. And I remember a little bit before doing this project, I saw an ad on Facebook for a website called Hey Jen. And what that did is it allows you to take a photo and either add a script or upload an audio track and have that picture animate into whatever we type in. So we went here to upload a photo. We picked out this good-looking guy with a mustache. And you can either type your script here, but since in Suno, what you can do is you can download what's called stems, S-T-E-M. And what that is basically individual instruments and a vocal track. So we had the vocal track separate from the music, and then we had the music. So we uploaded this, and then we just hit generate video. And 15 to 20 minutes later, we got this. Hopefully this isn't too loud. Let's see. And that's it. So he just sort of matched up the lyrics with his mouth. They added some little motions to them. And we did that for every single picture we could find. So same lyrics, same sort of thing. And that was the basis of what we started. So now we've taken this sort of historical figure, we've matched it with modern technology, and now we have something that we never could have done 2, 3, 5 years ago. We have Paul Harris rapping, which is just cool. It kind of felt like the storytelling that we were trying to tell, or that Marshall was describing, taking something that people knew and sort of presenting it in a fresh way. We went back and downloaded all the videos, or all the pictures. We had Paul Harris, we had the song. So next step for us was editing. So our company uses Adobe Premiere, which is a professional video editing software. But in all honesty, you probably could have done this in Canva to a certain degree. We could do a little more fancy stuff just because we have some fancy plugins. But for the most part, anybody could have done this. So let me show you. So this is sort of what we call as our timeline. This is a very little variant than the one you saw. We sort of added this new open here, which was also created in AI. But we probably edited this video 6 or 7 times, trying different pictures in different ways, seeing what flowed, what worked, what didn't, and just sort of repeated that till we were pretty happy with everything. There were some sections that Rotary Brand Center didn't quite fit, like talking about the cellos or, things like that. So we didn't want to just throw something in there. We wanted to make sure that we had this story and that we're able to continue telling this story visually. So our company has a subscription to what's called Envato. Okay. And if you're not familiar with what a stock footage site is, think of this as the Rotary Brand Center on steroids. It has a lot of music options and video options and picture options and all that kind of stuff. So as we were creating this video, we needed the cello. So we went here, we typed in cello. We needed it to be a video. We hit search, and we found literally thousands of videos of cellos. So we had a lot of options to choose from. And we just sort of went through that, step by step, building that together. And then we presented what was called the rough cut to Marshall and Susan, which is basically nothing's pretty. It's just kind of pictures just thrown in there. And we just wanted to see if they agreed with sort of our vision. So we made some tweaks. We were all on the same page. And then I did my favorite thing, and I gave my finishing editor the entire project to make it look pretty. So that's where we added graphics. We did some color correction. We tweaked the music and the sound, and we did all that fancy stuff. And it turned into what you have seen just now. All right. I'm sort of rambling. Let me go back to my notes so I know I don't miss anything. Yeah. So that was sort of the process in a nutshell. We could go very, very deep into the weeds on this because I kind of nerd out over this kind of stuff. But I want to leave you all with this. It's like I said, if you just have a vision, you have some time, and you have some creativity, we can do a lot of things. I tell all the club public image shares that I talk to, try something new, see if it works. The worst case is that no one watches it and you try something different. We just have to have some fun with this, and we didn't expect this video to be seen hundreds of thousands of times. We did it thinking it was just going to be shown and everyone was going to like it. We'd move on, and it sort of went viral, which was kind of cool. This was my first video that ever went viral, so this was kind of fun. But we're able to help tell the same story in a new way, in a modern way that people can connect with, a little bit differently than we've talked about in the past. And a lot of AI went into helping that. AI wrote the song, AI wrote the music, AI animated our people, AI created some shots that we didn't have that we needed, and sort of put it all together, all thanks to some AI tools. So, take this away, have some fun, be creative, and try new things and see what works.
And I think that's really a big takeaway, right? Is to be creative, have some fun, see what works. Give it a shot. Nick and I were chatting about how much we've learned through this process. I mean, there's with all the new technology these days, there's almost an abundance of technology, and you pick somewhere, choose a starting point, and just give it a try. And I think you'll have a lot of fun. And then once you see the successes, once you start, you'll have some failures too. I know I sure did, especially playing around with Suno and writing lyrics, and just trying to get everything just perfect. That don't give up after the first try. If it's not what you expect, keep trying again. And it's a great way to share the Rotary story in a new way. And like you said, Nick, it reaches an entirely different audience that we haven't been able to touch before. And I personally have know of someone that has come and joined Rotary because she saw this video. And I'll share that story really quickly. She was a friend of mine, a professional acquaintance. And I've known her for about a year, and I was talking about being gone over the weekend for a Rotary event, and she's like, "What's Rotary?" And I thought, wow, first of all, I'm doing a terrible job as an ambassador if my friend for a year is asking what's Rotary. But it's when we had recently released the Rotary Revolution rap, and I showed it to her, and she's like, "Oh my goodness, I had no idea that Rotary did so much. How can I learn more? How can I get involved?" And she came to a couple of meetings with me, and she's been in Rotary for several months now. And had I not shown her that video and made that connection, she never would have had the opportunity to join our amazing organization. So, again, it just goes back to sharing stories in new and innovative ways, and try to reach audiences so that they can receive the benefits of being part of such a wonderful organization and give back. Just the way that we do. I do have another video to share. So this was Nick's Nick and our seconds project, and this video was created once we launched the Rotary Revolution, which is an event coming up later this year. It's the Zones 33-34 Summit in Williamsburg. We launched another campaign to promote the event promote the foundation and foundation giving around this summit event. And so we came up with the $26.50, which was the first donation to the Rotary Foundation. And you'll see Arch Clump animated here, and Nick used his really awesome talent and tools to kind of bring that history to life. So Chad, roll it.
Over a century ago, one man's idea sparked a movement. Arch Clumps believed Rotary could do more than serve. It could change the world. He dreamed of a foundation built on giving. Yeah. Step back in time to 1917. Arch Clump had a vision, a fire, a dream. Listen up. This is the story of how one small gift became a force that sparked a global shift. Listen, I was standing at the podium, dreaming out loud. Said Rotary needs a fund that'll make us proud. $26.50 in the pot. Might not sound like much, but it's what we got. Fast forward through the years, watch it multiply. Dreams turn to projects that touch the sky. From local goodwill to a worldwide stage, the Rotary Foundation still writing that page. From 2650, we started the flame. Rotary Foundation, remember the name. Every dollar given is fuel for the fight. To make peace, bring hope, and shine that light. From 2650, we started the flame. Rotary Foundation, remember the name. Every dollar given is fuel for the fight. To make peace, bring hope, and shine that light. We took on disease, said polio's done. Mobilized millions till the cases hit none. Vaccines in the hands, kids safe on the street. We won't stop dropping till the job's complete. Clean water flowing, education grows. Mothers and children, relief when it shows. Peace, fellow study, changing the game. Across every nation, they carry the name. It ain't just money, it's vision and trust. This Rotarians everywhere saying service above us. Every Rotarian, every year, that's the key. Together we can build the world we want to see. Now it's billions invested, projects worldwide. 7 focus areas changing lives with pride. From environment to peace, economies too. The Rotary Foundation is the engine that makes dreams come true. I'm Arch Clump, speaking straight from the past. Planted a seed that forever will last. So when you write that check or you give online, know you part of a legacy divine. From 2650, we started the flame. Rotary Foundation, remember the name. Every dollar given is fuel for the fight. To make peace, bring hope, and shine that light. All 20 subsidies to the future we see. The foundation's work is our legacy. So keep giving, keep serving, keep changing the plan. Rotary Foundation, together we can. From Arch Clump's vision, the story's been told. We're doing good in the world, and the future is gold.
Pretty cool, huh? Pretty awesome. I mean, I bop my head to that song every time. So, yeah, Nick, thank you so much for your creative talent and kind of giving us a behind-the-scenes look. And I know Marshall wishes that he could have been here tonight, but this was really his brainchild, and he came up with this idea and started it, and it just grew from there, and it's been really exciting to see where it has evolved. And I know there's going to be a lot more excitement around this practice of using video in a whole new way to share our Rotary stories, not just about the founding or the foundation, but about the other revolutionary moments like Women in Rotary and our polio eradication efforts. So I again just encourage you all to start utilizing those tools, and if you have questions, just always reach out to our team, and we're happy to help guide you along the way. And we want to know what you want to know more about, so we don't know that without you asking. So again, just reach out and stay in touch and let us know how we can help. Nick, I know we have some questions. I have one of my own to ask you before we jump into Q&A, and if you guys want to type questions in chat or just raise your virtual hand, then we will call on you to ask a question. But mine is, between the two videos, the Rotary Wrap and Arch Clump, were there any other like new tools you added, or Any difference in the production style and practice behind those two videos?
Yes. So in the Arch Clump video, we added one more AI tool called Topaz. And what Topaz does is it allows us to take a really small picture, what we call web quality, which is really, really small, and blow it up. So if you did that normally, everything would be a little blurry and you wouldn't be able to tell what it is. So we had AI recreate this really small picture of our four guys into an 8K image. So we were able to really zoom in on their faces this time to give us some variety in the shots rather than just that one still shot of all four of them. So we could have them do duets and sort of zoom in on one, so without losing any quality. So that's what we did a little differently this time. Other than that, it was all very similar to how we did it last time. We just had a little bit more fun and tried a few different things. We had to get a lot more pictures too. We go through some Rotary pictures for sure.
Oh, 100%. And as you're trying this out, I'm talking to everyone who's on tonight. As you're trying this out, look for those people of action photos, the really powerful photos that not just match the lyrics, but really represent your club and your area and the service projects that you're involved with. And be mindful when you're out at your events and social gatherings and doing things together as a club to get video, get that footage, get the video, get the photos, and just start building your library of resources so that when you go back and you're ready to put together something like this, you can use the Brand Center, but you can also use videos and photo content that are very relevant to your projects and what you're doing to serve your community and the needs that you're addressing. I'm going to kind of lean on my team a little bit. Does anyone have a virtual hand up, or has anyone popped a question in the chat that we can address?
Susan, if you can answer, is the animation of the hands and the arms in the photos the same as the mouth movements using HeyGen?
That is correct. So we can give a little bit of a description of sort of what we want them to do. We didn't give them a lot of description on this one. We just kind of said, hey, these guys are rapping, let's try to, keep the energy up and keep a little bit more movement. So HeyGen, actually, if we had a full body picture of someone, they would animate that entire person. So to answer that question, yes, that was all in HeyGen. Correct.
And is there a place that they can download both of the videos?
There is. Actually, everything is housed. I think Caroline dropped a link, and I'll drop it here again. But if you go to Rotary3334revolution.org, you can see them there. Or our Vimeo channel. And if one of our RPICs has the Zone 34 site handy, just drop that link in there. And on there's links to our Vimeo and YouTube channels, and you can view the videos there as well. I will also be sending out an email later this week to everybody that registered. It's going to have a link to download both videos as well as a recording from tonight, and we're going to provide you with a template in Canva. This was the exciting secret news I was going to share. We have a Canva template that we've put together. We've uploaded the video to Canva, and then there's a kind of it's not a blank slide, but it's the last slide, right, Nick? I think it's the image with Paul Harris. Correct. Where it's kind of a blank template where you can add your own club call to action. So when we created this video, Nick put the Rotary Revolution, the summit information with a QR code to register for that summit as the last page for our call to action. But this will allow you, we've had a lot of people say, I want to use this for membership events, or I want to use it for various club activities and events. And so we have created this template so that you can play the video and insert your own call to action and utilize that for your club or district. So I'll also be sending that out in the email as well. So everything that we've kind of shared with you tonight, you'll have in one direct message, and then you'll have our contact info too. So you can get in touch with us if you have follow-up questions as well.
Is there any copyrights that they need to be mindful of?
Excellent question. So all of the content that we have produced for this video, we have gone through the correct copyright stuff. I know we had to change a couple of things here and there, but everything that we got through Envato has a licensing agreement with it. So that is all good to go. And then anything we use through Topaz or Suno, those are all created by us. So we have that copyright. But I'm sure in the next few years, there will be some sort of AI copyright legality coming up. But as of now, everything has been copyright free.
I will remind you, if you're using, like I know a lot of people are using ChatGPT and other similar modules to create graphics for their Rotary Club. If you're using that, don't let it create the Rotary logo. So basically don't use AI to create the Rotary logo. One of the first things Nick said, actually the first screen he shared, was the brand center, and for that reason, we don't want the brand integrity to be diminished. And if you are using AI to regenerate the logo, that's what's happening. So we want you to have a strong brand identity. So I would recommend plugging in a command, creating the graphic, and in that, as part of that command, say don't use the Rotary logo or don't use any logos, and then you can add that logo after the fact just to make sure it's maintaining the integrity and you're following the brand guidelines.
Nick, can you tell us, of the tools that you mentioned, which tools were you using paid versions and which ones were you using free versions?
Sure, absolutely. So we, all of the versions we've used are paid. And the main reason for that, HeyGen was the big one. I want to say it was $28 for the month, and you got about 10 minutes worth of creation for that. So the free version of that has the HeyGen watermark, which we did not want to have. And then we also needed some longer time since we had to animate a 3-minute song 3 or 4 different times. We ran out of space. So that one we paid for. All of the other, the Envato, we have a subscription for. I think that's like $16 a month. Suno, I know it's not super expensive. I don't recall the cost off the top of my head. I want to say it's $100 for the year or something ridiculous like that, but you get a lot of creation songs for that per month. And then I think obviously the Rotary Brand Center was free. And then our editing software, we have a subscription to, but other than that, we paid for everything.
Can you change the music style? So when you're in Suno, can you ask them to change the music style, and how does that work?
Absolutely. So in Suno, I sort of cheat and I use ChatGPT to help me create a prompt to put in Suno. So I'm using AI to help create AI. But what you can do is you can just create the lyrics and say, hey, try it in this version or that version. The problem with doing that with sort of this song is that we have matched all the editing to the tempo of the music and sort of match that style. So it wouldn't be sort of an apples to apples change if we did this. It would be more of a sort of a version 2 kind of thing where it'd be a little similar, but we'd have to redo the whole thing.
Are any of the images that you used royalty free?
They are royalty free through our Envato licensing agreement, but they are not purely free, royalty free. So we did have to pay for that copyright, which we do for all of our projects just to make sure that we're not stealing anything from any of the artists or any of that sort of stuff. We never go on Google and just search for an image and download it and use it. We want to make sure that we get all of our stuff through a reputable copyright source.
And I'm hoping they're asking about Suno. I think so. Correct me if I'm wrong, Scott. But what about other languages? Can Suno create songs in different languages?
That is an excellent question. I'm going to assume yes. Maybe not a lot of different languages, but maybe a couple. But I do not have a firm yes or no on that answer. I apologize.
We have been able to translate the Rotary Rap video into several different languages. It was after production, so it wasn't done in Suno. I don't know the answer to that either. But Marshall actually used HeyGen to translate video of himself actually into speaking in German. So that was
that was something I learned today, is that you could, I think he recorded it in English, uploaded it to HeyGen, and then translated it to German. And from what I understand, it was mostly accurate. So that was kind of nifty.
But we've definitely had some requests for it in other languages, and it's something that we're continuing to try to evolve. Appreciate all the great questions, you guys.
Yeah, these are great questions.
I did see I have a few comments in the chat about using ChatGPT again for the Rotary logo. specifically that you can kind of train ChatGPT. You can teach it how to do certain things. I will always still caution you, no matter what, to use the logo as it's downloaded from the Brand Center, because it does pull from other sources, not just what you gave it. And so if you want to be 100% sure that you're using the brand compliant logo, I would still add it yourself as it was downloaded. But yes, you can adapt your commands and teach your bots to produce certain content with minor tweaks.
And AI still has issues with letters and text, so it'll change it anyway, just even a little bit. So we want to avoid that at all costs.
I just looked it up, and it does say Suno supports a number of different languages.
Perfect.
So you can do that. The only other question that I saw, and if I missed your question, please type it again. I apologize. But the only other one I saw is, how can you get invited to the Zone Summit in Williamsburg?
That website that I dropped in there, Rotary 3334revolution.org, is the 33 Summit. Or just reach out and we can provide you with some information. Just so you're aware, the primary audience for this is the district governor line and past district governors, as well as they have an emerging leaders session. So just make sure to look at the schedule and find out what is best appropriate if you're looking into attending. But it's going to be a fabulous event. It's going to be so much fun, and just honoring the United States 250-year anniversary is kind of a revolution that sparked this whole idea of having it in Williamsburg. So I can go on and get way off topic about that, but it's really the Rotary Revolution that we're talking about and focusing on is all the great things that Rotary has done historically and will continue to do in the future.
Sharon just asked another great question. What disclaimers are appropriate when creating with AI to disclose how the content was generated?
Excellent question. Legally speaking, I don't think we have to do any, just to say it's AI generated. When we ran this through Rotary, I know that Rotary's lawyers specifically had specific disclosures and disclaimers that we needed to add, just to cover their copyrights. But to my knowledge, as of now, there is no AI copyright disclaimer that needs to be done, other if you just say, hey, well, this is really cool, we created an AI. But I have a feeling that over the next few years, that will change. But to my knowledge now, no AI disclaimer is needed.
Right. And for just a simple video, is there a one-stop shop tool that you recommend that will create something from like a prompt or a few pictures?
One-stop shop. Let me think. Not to my knowledge at the moment. I mean, we used 5 or 6 different AI tools to put this together. You have a few things like Sora and stuff like that can do a little bit more in-depth stuff, but you lose a lot of control individually on each one of those things. So unfortunately, I don't know of a one-stop shop for this sort of production.
Any other questions? Well, if there's something that you think of down the road, just let us know, get in touch with us, and we'd be happy to address it. And, one of the reasons that we hosted this virtual event tonight is because we asked for your feedback back in December on the EPIC Award. The December task was to tell us what webinars or virtual events have you enjoyed and what do you want to learn more about. And there was a lot of feedback that people wanted to learn more about using AI specifically for storytelling and video production. So thank you for that feedback. This is one of the reasons we decided to have Nick and Marshall as our guests tonight. And Nick, thank you so much for being here. And we appreciate everything Marshall did to prepare for this video, and wish he could have been here in person. But really, this whole idea that stemmed from him has really created a lot of excitement and energy for our Rotary family, not just in our zones, but around the world. And it truly has been kind of a revolutionary moment, just to re-inspire everyone and kind of kickstart us on some new opportunities to tell stories in a very different way. Next month, we have a session on Canva, and that also came from your feedback. So I'll just go really quickly through a couple of slides, and then we'll wrap up for the night. Just a reminder, this recording will come out later this week. A link to the recording, as well as where you can download the different videos and content. The EPIC Award is it's an award that Zones 3334 Public Image Team gives out to clubs for completing monthly tasks. If you're on this call, there's a pretty good chance you probably know about it. It's an opportunity for clubs throughout our 2 zones to earn recognition for doing simple tasks each month. We've found that clubs who perform these simple tasks are actually wildly successful, not just with their public image efforts, but it enhances everything you're doing with membership and foundation and service projects. The EPIC Award starts in July and it goes through April, and we're wrapping up the year. The rest of the tasks for the remainder of this Rotary year are open. So please, if you're on track to earn the award, but you still have a couple of outstanding tasks, go to our website, and it's rotaryzones3334.org. You can find the EPIC Award criteria there. But make sure you're getting these last few tasks submitted. The storytelling one is really important because we want to encourage you to talk about what your club is doing, highlighting partnerships, looking for opportunities for media coverage. And then the final one in April is we're asking for your incoming leaders. And now it's February, very close to March, and we're approaching quickly the end of this Rotary year. It'll be here before we know it. So we want to make sure that the incoming leaders are identified in My Rotary, and that's what the April task is to tell us who your club public image chair is and let us know who your club leadership is, and we can start making sure that they are receiving important communications between now and the start of the new Rotary year. And then you get rewarded for it too. You get an award and recognition, and you can brag about how amazing your club is with regards to its public image efforts. And then next month's webinar, like I mentioned, is on Canva. We're going to do something a little bit different next month. We're going to have 3 breakout rooms. Again, Canva was a popular demand. It's always in high demand, but we've realized that it's hard to create a presentation that is relevant to our entire audience. So we're going to have a breakout room for a beginner level Canva user, intermediate, and then kind of like a master class. So there'll be 3 different breakout rooms, and depending on your level and experience in Canva, you can choose what breakout room you'd like to go to. You can also go back and watch the recordings for any breakout rooms that you weren't able to participate in. So for example, if you go to the beginners class and you become a master at that, then you can move on and watch the second and third classes and advance a little bit more through Canva. And then our last event of the year is the April 28th Public Image Bootcamp. This is a really, really important session for the current and incoming public image chairs to attend, but we really want to start getting your incoming public image chairs up to speed so that you can start preparing your public image plans and putting together the content calendar and just have an idea of what resources are available to you and your club so you can have a successful Rotary year. So I'm talking a lot about the end of the Rotary year, but we still have a ways to go. There's just a lot to get done between now and then. Foundation Matters has their 3rd Thursday of the month virtual event, so you can check that out, as well as March 9th is the next membership event. So just a couple of things that are coming up across our zones, and you're all invited to participate in. Again, all of the information that we share is housed at the rotaryzones3334.org website, so if you have any questions on where information can be found, that's your go-to, as well as utilizing us as your team. And we're going to wrap up a little early tonight unless anyone else has any final questions, and I'll pause to let my team respond if they've seen anything come through.
We have a couple. If you create with AI tools and upload photos and information, how do you protect them from being reused, like for youth protection and things like that?
That is an excellent question. Most of the fine print, to my knowledge, I have not thoroughly read the end user license agreements on anything I've done, but generally, when you upload a photo, then the company that you upload it to has some access copyright to it, just because you're uploading it to their system. But that is an excellent question for a lawyer to ask. Unfortunately, I don't have a great answer for you, but I just do know that just be careful with what you upload, because once it's uploaded, it's there forever.
And how do we get access to Canva through Rotary?
That's another great question. We actually have an initiative called Canva for Clubs, and the first thing we ask you to do is try to apply for a nonprofit status. So Canva is free to sign up for. Your club can create a Canva account and use it at no charge. However, there's a lot of features that are unlocked with the Pro version, and you can get upgraded to the Pro version for free if you have a nonprofit status by filling out the application on Canva's website. If for some reason they come back and you're not able to get that nonprofit status for the free Pro upgrade, then you can apply for the Canva for Clubs program that we offer, where we as a zone PI team will provide you with a seat on our Canva account for up to a year, and then you reapply each year. And actually, the applications are going to be going out again soon for all the clubs who participated in it this past year, which was the first year that we offered this. But yeah, definitely look into that for your club or your district. If you have that nonprofit status, which most of the clubs probably do, and if not, get in touch with us about how to get a seat on our team. Great question.
The only other question I saw was about where to get links for the tools that you guys use, but Caroline answered it. She included a link, and it's the most recent one in there, so everybody can check it out.
Excellent. Yeah, thanks, Caroline. That's a really great resource, too. Caroline has done a wonderful job at building out this own website. Not just for public image tools, but for membership and foundation and other zone resources. And again, that's where we house pretty much everything zone related, other than, the RI's content on the brand center. That's another great resource. But that public image toolbox is a really essential kit for the PI chairs in the club. It's got a lot of links and great tips and resources, and our blog there as well with current content. Well, thank you all tonight for being here. I hope to see you next month at our Canva event. And again, I'll just send a reminder out that keep in touch with us and let us know how we can help you. Have a wonderful evening, everyone.